Hey, okay, I am just coming back in from a walk that I actually needed to take because I was feeling extremely overwhelmed with some mapping out and planning that I've been working on. 2026 is already starting off to be a really amazing year for me. And I am being very intentional about writing the vision and making it plain. And I am really, really good at doing that. The level of detail, how granular I can get in doing that part is pretty phenomenal. In fact, it often does overwhelm people when I share my details with them. And I may share an example of that at some point, but that's not the point here. The point is that I overwhelmed myself with how granular I was getting with things, but I also know that that type of specificity is so essential for me because I have very big goals that I am going to achieve this year, and so I wanted to be very intentional about mapping out a plan, putting things on the calendar, really scheduling those details out so that I can track my progress and really put myself on a path to make these things happen. And so I am at the point now where I'm like, oh, planning is so much fun. It's really good. It's been a very productive week for me because I've been mapping out. Every day I've been getting up and really focusing my time and attention on mapping out a lot of what these details are that I'm talking about. And now I am at the point where I need to go ahead and jump in and begin executing. And my plan isn't perfect. Like, for as much detail that I do have in it, it's not a perfect plan, right? And I also want to leave some space in there for myself to be able to flow. I just know that I know me, and if I don't have a plan, if I don't make a plan for my day, if I am winging things, I'm very prone to allow myself to be distracted and thrown off guard. So I have gotten my plan to a really solid point, which I feel good about. That was my intention for this week because next week I want to go ahead and jump into things, and I am. And before, like, as I was getting to the end of things, I started feeling like the weight of, like, oh, snap. These are very lofty goals, and you have some plans and ideas about how to make them happen. Can you really do it? And so I just had to, like, step back from the computer and get some fresh air. And I did that. And I actually was praying while I was taking this walk. And I just poured out my heart to God because I do believe that I am partnering with Him in very specific ways to manifest what I believe I understand to be his plan and his purpose for my life in this year. And so I am trying to be much better about checking in, talking to God along the way. And so I was doing that on this walk and just had, I guess it's a meditation of sort, or just some divine nudges about, I'm really good at planning, and what I want to become even better at is executing. And so maybe I have not said a word for the year, but maybe the word is execution, something along the lines of that, but really about taking action. And so as I was walking and praying and just also making space to hear from God. I felt like I got some clarity around some things. And honestly, this was like it wasn't even a 30-minute walk. But I do believe that God hears me when I pray. He always hears me when I pray, and He always answers me. I might not get the answer right away. Sometimes I feel like I do get the answer um, much quicker than I expect, but He always answers me. And I got some clarity in that walk and talk with God that I mean, maybe it was 20 minutes altogether, but I got some clarity about some things and I am going to move forward on acting on them. But the biggest thing is that I just have to start. I just have to execute. I can have all the well-laid plans that I want, but if I don't take action on them, it absolutely means nothing. And so I just wanted to take a moment to document this for myself. I'm not even sure if I'll share it out, but I wanted to document it for myself to remind myself of where I am in this moment. We're about halfway through January 2026, and I know that I won't be in this space forever, and that I need to do all that I can to take as much action as I can on these plans and trust God with the rest. And I've got some ideas that have come to me during this walk that I'm just going to write out and also start acting on right away. I've got some next best steps for me to take. And so, yeah, I also just felt when I was walking, it was like, you need to pull out your camera, you need to document this. And so that's what this moment is. That's what me pulling up the camera and sharing this is all about. Even if it sounds like it is all over the place, that is somewhat the case because I have been all over the place, but it is documented. And so this moment is complete. And if it is helpful for anyone, then yay. But it is also totally fine if it is just helpful for me. I am really good at planning. I have always been really good at planning. I want to become even better at executing. And so that is what I am leaning into. That is what I'm doing. And yeah, if this is helpful at all, go ahead and like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know that it was helpful. And if you're interested in seeing a bit of my planning details, let me know because I would be willing to share that and maybe even walk folks through my process if it's something that people think may be helpful to them. So that's it. That's all for now. I will check in later. Bye.